floods in Auckland? Everything's okay at where you
Yeah,
are?
everything's okay here. I mean, we've had plenty of rain, more than usual through winter, through spring, through summer, more than usual, but nothing really extreme. But Auckland had extreme.
Oh,
I mean, my parents have been living in one place near Auckland for 38 years, and my father said he's never seen so much water in his life. 214 millimeters in one day. I mean, for New Zealand, that's big. That's big. For Australia, that's peanuts. But for New Zealand, that's big. And actually, I think 3 or 4 people died, which is, I mean, once again, for other places in the world, that's like nothing. But for New Zealand, I mean, I can't remember ever hearing of someone dying in New Zealand from a flood. From earthquakes, of course, but not from floods. So, yeah, that was quite a bit of rain for New Zealand to get.
Yeah.
So there. You know, so many houses were written off, and cars were written off, and I saw roads, some quite significant roads had disappeared, and bridges had disappeared, things like that. So it was quite significant.
Krishna didn't accept that Jacinda's resignation.
Oh yeah.
That's why it's all happening.
Oh, there's a few conspiracy theories about what's going on. Anyway, I won't get into that now. Climate control and all this kind of stuff. Okay, let's get into it. So last time we were together 2 weeks ago. We missed out last week. So where are we up to? Are we up to text 14, or did we finish text 13's report?
We're on page 318, which is 714. No, 713. We hadn't finished 713. The last paragraph of 713 we hadn't done.
Okay, we haven't done it. Okay. Yep. So we'll read 713 again of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter is knowledge of the absolute. Text 13. Trabir guna maya bhavair. Ebhi sarvam idam jagat. Mohitam nabijanati. Mamebhya paramavyayam. Okay, Gulshan, you like to read the translation, please?
Start or like for the third or
translation deluded.
Yeah, but like they said that we are halfway through in that one. We did all that.
We didn't
we should always refresh.
Okay. Diluted by
what Krishna's saying.
Diluted by 3 modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. The whole world does not know me, who am above the modes of inexhaustible, like
inexhaustible.
Inexhaustible.
Yeah.
One is exhaust, one is inexhaust. Like in my kitchen, there's an exhaust fan.
Yeah.
Oh God, good, enough.
And this is inexhaustible.
Yeah. In this case, inexhaustible means it never gets exhausted. So it means never runs out, never becomes depleted. So he has unlimited energy or potencies. Just like a good example, a material example is the sun, right? So the sun is pumping out so much heat and light day after day, year after year, century after century, millennium after millennium, and it keeps going the same. It's not running out of power, is it?
Yeah.
It's like super hot here today.
You're getting more power.
It seems to be getting more powerful, yeah. So yeah, it's not running out of power. So Krishna's like that even more than the sun. He never runs out of power. Some people say that that God created the universe, and then that was just so much work, then he's like deflated now, and you can't find him anymore. He doesn't exist. He's divided himself so much by creating the universe that he doesn't exist anymore. But Krishna's pointing out here, no, it's not like that. He never gets exhausted. Like we might build something, and then you're completely wiped out after that and you can't do anything anymore. But Krishna's not like that. He has, unlimited energies. So it doesn't matter how much he expands himself, divides himself, but he never gets reduced in any way. Never gets reduced in any way. And tomorrow is the all-auspicious, well, actually, we'll start off with today. Today is the all-auspicious appearance day of Rahadev, the boar incarnation. So, you know, Krishna incarnated himself as the boar, the pig incarnation, to lift the earth out of it, which was submerged in the universal water. And then he fought with Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu's brother, a big demon, Hiranyaksha, and he defeated Hiranyaksha. So that's the anniversary of that today. So, you know, Krishna's expanded in that incarnation, but he hasn't reduced in any way. You know, and then tomorrow is the appearance anniversary of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Chaitanya's brother, who's the incarnation of Balaram. So Balaram is Krishna's first expansion, and one an identical personality as Balaram appeared. Balaram came 5,000 years ago, as you know, with Krishna. And then he appeared again. Balaram appeared again, but this time in the form of Nityananda. So Nityananda is identical with Balaram, the first expansion of Krishna. But even though, you know, Krishna is expanding in all these different forms, and he's expanding to us also as tiny parts and parcels, but Krishna still remains the same. He doesn't get weakened or diminished in any way. Doesn't matter how much he expands. So... And he's also expanded himself, as mentioned here, into the three modes, and the modes of material nature, which, as mentioned here, these three modes, Sattva Gun, Rajagun, Tamagun, goodness, passion, ignorance, they controls everyone, as mentioned here, right? Everyone's deluded. You know, we don't, why don't we know God? Well, how is it we've forgotten God? Because of the modes. That's explained here. The reason why, you know, if we say that, you know, we're part and parcel of Krishna, so, you know, we come from Krishna, we have an intimate relationship with Krishna, and that, you know, you know that by the word parcel, right? See, part, you know, we could be part of God, but we might be completely separated, right? A separated part. But that's why Prabhupada very carefully, when he writes it, part and parcel. Because parcel, what's a parcel? Parcel means all together, right? It's all together, something that's all very integrated, very together, a parcel. You know, like you have your box and then it's all wrapped up and then you have a ribbon around it or whatever. It's all together. It's something that's all together. So we're intimate, not only are we part of God, but we're intimately related with him, intimately connect with him. So how is it possible that we've forgotten him? That is a reasonable question to ask. And that's because of this, the three modes, because we're completely bewildered by this mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. We can't see him anymore. We can't see him. So, but as mentioned in this verse, that he's above the modes. So, because the modes of material nature, the gunas, were created by him. So he controls them. So he's not under the influence of something that he's created. But we're under the influence of the modes, but he's above the modes. And we explained that before, right? That the example is our eyes and the sun. Now, sometimes you can't see the sun with your eyes. Why?
Too bright.
The sun is in the sky. The sun, not nighttime. In the daytime, the sun is in the sky, but with your eyes, you can't see the sun. How is that?
Because of the clouds.
Because of the cloud, okay? So which is bigger? The sun is bigger or the cloud is bigger?
The sun.
The sun. So then how can a small cloud cover the big sun? Actually, it's not covering the sun. You understand that? How could a 100-kilometer wide cloud cover, you know, millions of miles of kilometers of sun? Not possible. So what is covered?
Our eyes.
Deepa mentioned our eyes, yeah, because our eyes are very small. So obviously the cloud is bigger than our eyes, but it's never bigger than the sun. Doesn't matter how big the cloud is, it's never going to be as big as the sun. So although Maya, the three modes of material nature are far, far more greater than us, like the cloud compared to the eye, but it's insignificant compared to the sun. Maya is insignificant compared to the sun. So even when Krishna comes to this world, he's never covered by Maya. Never covered by Maya. Some people say that God can't come into this world. But if you say God can't do something, then that person is not God. Because God can do anything, right? That's God. What is the definition of God? That person that's completely free to do anything he likes. You know, he controls everything. You can't say that God can't come. He created the material world. Yeah, I agree with that. But he can't come here. Why? What's the logic? You know, that's illogical. You can't say that God can't come. Also, they say, okay, even if God comes to this world, but he comes in a material body. No, he doesn't. He comes in as an original spiritual body, you know. Like Krishna's saying here, when he comes to this world, he's inexhaustible. He comes in his inexhaustible spiritual form, is inexhaustible. If Krishna agrees that when God comes, then Krishna, he's coming as an ordinary man, but every ordinary man gets exhausted, isn't it? What's the ultimate exhaustion that every living thing goes through? What's the ultimate exhaustion?
You mean
Death?
death?
It means running out, right? It means you're completely, you've run out. So what's the ultimate? What do we call that? I'll give you a
Is
clue.
that death?
Death. But Krishna doesn't die, you know, because he's a spiritual body, doesn't die. You know, spiritual body doesn't die. You like that. So he can come to the material world if he wants. And even when he comes, he doesn't come in a material form which is exhausted. He comes in his original inexhaustible form, a spiritual body like that. And then the question is, you know, well, okay, why does God come here? Oh, he comes to enjoy in the world like us. No, he doesn't. He doesn't need anything here. He's got far better enjoyments in the spiritual world. Lakshmi Sahasra Sada Sambrahma Savyamanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. In the spiritual world, he's served with great awe and reverence by hundreds and thousands of goddesses, beautiful goddesses, far more beautiful than Miss Universe here or whatever. Far, far more beautiful spiritual bodies and everything. Not some rotten material body that, you know, starts to smell. You know, that's why I had to put so much perfume on it. It's all rotten. It's all rotten. You know, so he's served by these beautiful spiritual goddesses, and every tree there is a desire tree fulfilling all desires. Every step is a dance. Every word is a song. You know, so why would he want to come to the material to enjoy here? Get real. No way. What's to enjoy here? This is the place of birth and old age and disease and death. He wouldn't come here to enjoy. Why does he come here? We can have a quick look at chapter 4, text number 6 and 7.
467.
6
No.
and 7.
Chapter 4, 6 and 7.
Oh, 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
It's to reinstate spiritual principles.
Yeah, Dharma. Yeah, to re-establish Dharma. Very good, Deepa. And 2 other reasons. 2 other reasons. So that's 6, and Pratranaya sadhanam vanashaya skudam dharma samstapanatayas sambhavami yuga. So yeah, this is giving the reasons why God, you know, incarnates in the material world. Like, you know, today is Varahadev, tomorrow Nityananda, you know, why Krishna comes, Lord Chaitanya comes. There's the same reasons why they all come. Many different forms he comes, but these are the reasons. So what are the reasons?
When there's a decline in the religious practice?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we really need him now. It's a big decline.
We do.
We really need him now. Yep. Yeah, and?
He liberates the devotees.
Yeah, he liberates the devotees. He protects the devotees, delivers the devotees. Yeah, because he loves the devotees. That's why God comes. You know, when he sees the devotees are, you know, hankering to see him and are suffering due to. Actually, devotees don't really have any problems. You know, we live a simple life. We live in harmony with nature. We try not to hurt anyone, anything like that. So we don't really have any problems. We can tolerate old age and disease and death. We know that death isn't real. We know that we're eternal, so we're not too worried about dying. you know, but there is one significant problem for devotees. What's that, you know? It's mentioned in these verses. Krishna comes to deliver the devotees, protect the devotees from
Maya. From Maya.
From what?
From Maya.
No, the devotees are not in Maya. Devotees are in Krishna consciousness. They're free from Maya, so they're not suffering because of Maya. They're not in Maya means, you know, they're not, you know, meat eaters and drunkards and womanizers and gambling addicts. So that's what causes all the suffering. So they're not doing all those things. Yeah. So they're not in Maya. They're happy, you know. Hare Krishna, and you can feel a little bit tired. Then you take prasad, you know, like that. So you chant and you dance. And Prabhupada said you chant, a devotee chants and then dances, and if he feels a little bit tired, then he takes prasad and has a rest. So simple life, you know. It's a very good life. Very good life. And Lord Chaitanya said, Lord Chaitanya brought a very joyful process. Kevala Ananda Kanda. From Lord Chandas Thakur wrote one beautiful song. Kevala Ananda Kanda. So Kevala means only or simply. Ananda means blissful. And Kanda means path or process. So this process brought by Lord Chaitanya of chanting, dancing and feasting is very joyful. So devotees are happy in the material world. But there's one problem. It's mentioned in these verses. And the second one. Vanashaya chaduskritam. Krishna comes to annihilate the demons. The demons, they're the problem. They're the problem for the devotees. The devotees, you know, living very good life, everything like that. The demons always creating some problems. Always creating problems. Always, you know. Creating some miserable. Like, I'll give you an example, Prahlad. Innocent 5-year-old boy, but father is a demon, you know, and giving so much trouble to his son, Prahlad, who's a devotee. Why was the father giving trouble to his son? Only for one reason, because he's a devotee of God, you know, just simply because he loves God. His father hates his guts, and to the point where he wants to kill him, you know. So this is the problem for the devotees. The demons are so envious.
But then demons also the creation of Krishna anyway. It's why Krishna created the demons if he has to come and kill them.
No, Krishna didn't create the demons. We created the demons.
Krishna's energy. Demon also Krishna's energy. Nothing is above Krishna's energy. Everything is Krishna's, whether demon or a demigod.
Yeah, but you're presenting it in a very simplistic way. There's a few more dots to connect. So okay, Krishna created the demons. Well, what happened? Krishna creates the soul, right? And Krishna gives the soul free choice. Yeah. Free choice means you can use it properly or improperly, correctly or incorrectly. You can do the right thing or the wrong thing. That's what free choice means. So if you use your free choice to do the wrong thing, that means demon. So Krishna created that? No, your free choice created that. You know, so that was due to our mischoice that there are demons. You know, and Krishna, sure. I mean, we can't be a demon unless Krishna helps us to be a demon.
Yeah, of course.
Because Krishna's giving you the strength to be a demon and the intelligence to be a demon and everything like that, the abilities and everything. But that's following our choice. It's not, you know, Krishna's giving you all of that mentality of a demon and everything like that goes with it, the strong body of a demon and everything like that. But it's not because he wants it, but it's because you want it.
Yeah, because
you want.
I read I have come across certain things where it says that Krishna or God, Krishna just gives us what we want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise you say, you know, Krishna wants slaughterhouses because we see slaughterhouses. But really, Krishna really wants cows to be slaughtered thousands every day? I don't think so. I know Krishna's allowing the slaughterhouses, but there's a big difference between Krishna allowing slaughterhouses, he's sanctioning it, and Krishna wants it. No, who wants the slaughterhouses? You know, we want the slaughterhouse because we want to eat meat. You know, I love my meat. You know, whenever I talk with a Christian, that's the main thing I end up when I talk to them about, you know, why don't you follow the principle, thou shalt not kill? And ultimately where they end up the conversation in as well, I like, because I defeat them, of course. And then they say, you know, I love my meat. And then what can you say after that? You know, that's what they want. Really, they don't care what God wants. God wants, what does God want? Thou shalt not kill. But what do we want? We want the opposite to that. We want to kill and we want to eat it. You know, so what can you say? And what can Krishna say? Because, okay, have your slaughterhouse. But I warn you, when you die, mate, you're gonna be slaughtered, roasted. You're gonna be barbecued. You're gonna be barbecued life after life. For every hair on that cow, you're gonna be barbecued, mate. You know, so he allows it, but it's not that he wants it. So yeah, there's a big difference. So yeah, we have to be careful with that. That, you know, just because Krishna's allowing something to happen doesn't mean he wants it. You know, or that's his desire. No, but he's just accommodating, you know, as a well-wishing father. And the children sometimes want, isn't it? All the parents here know that sometimes kids want stupid things. Well, what can the parent do? Say, okay, you know, I don't want to give this to you, but you just never, you know, you're so determined or whatever. Okay, have it. Just have it, you know. I'd rather you didn't, you know, but okay, you want it. Okay, what can I do? And because, you know what, they have a tantrum, right? Every parent knows what a tantrum is, right? They have a tantrum, you know. Daddy, give me this. I want this. I want to give it to me. You know, like that. So what can you do, you know? So, okay, just take it.
Actually, kids are best negotiator.
And they cry and they scream and everything. Okay, and the parent just surrenders, you know. So, and that's what it's like, you know. So, but the best kind of child just says, you know, Mum, Dad, what do you want? You know, I just want to please you. I just want to serve you. But that's very rare, as you know, to have a child like that. You know, Mummy, Daddy, what can I do? You know, how can I serve you? Like Prabhupada said, I only ever asked one question to my spiritual master. You know what it was?
How do I serve you?
Yeah. He said, I only ever asked him one question. How can I serve you, Guru Maharaj? That's the best disciple, you know. You know. Rather than, oh, Guru Maharaj, please give me blessing for me getting married. Give me blessing that I can become millionaire. Please give me blessing that I can pass my exams.
Who wants that things from Guru Maharaj? No.
Please give me.
One devotee doesn't want that.
Oh, you'll be surprised.
Really?
You'll be surprised. No, we're trying to get out of that. So to different degrees. Please give me blessing. I can become GBC. I can become sannyasi. I can become powerful, you know, controller of a spiritual society. You know, so it's Maya is like it's saying in this verse, Maya is very strong. Everyone is under the Maya. Unless and until, and we've talked about that verse, you know, 14:26. If you're fully engaged in devotional service, never falling down from that position, always engaged in devotional service, then you transcend the three modes. So that's 14 chapter 26. But yeah, that's what a pure devotee is, you know, unfailing in all circumstances like that. But even where, you know, on the road to that is still wonderful. It's still wonderful, even when not completely pure. And, you know, even if we do have some desires, you know, like it's natural, you know, we want a partner in Krishna consciousness. You know, you want, like Prabhupada said, you know, that, you know, in the material world, every man wants a woman, every woman wants a man. You know, so these sort of natural desires. So, yeah. So we may have some desires, so that can be there. But just by practicing Krishna consciousness, chanting and hearing about Krishna, slowly these desires will become purified. And so we don't want to be artificial and, you know, and pretend that we don't have any desires and things like that. And just like me, if I said, I'm not going to eat any sweets. Okay, it lasts 1 day, lasts 2 days, lasts 3 days, but, you know, sometime, you know, I'm going to walk past some sweets and I'm just going to eat the whole lot. Isn't that what happens? You know, you binge, right? If you try to artificially stop something,
That's what happened in India in 2019. You ate something that from outside, and then you were ill.
I did. Yeah, I blew it. Yeah, I ate some sweets in Jagannath Puri and got sick from the sweet shop. That was by a big mistake. Yeah. So like that. So, you know, we can't artificially try to renounce things. But just by acting Krishna consciousness, we get so much positive enjoyment that slowly, you know, you get the higher taste and you don't want the lower taste anymore. So that's the best process. But getting back to what we're talking about, yeah, that's the main problem is the demons, and Krishna comes to deal with that, you know, because Krishna loves the devotees so much and he doesn't like to see them suffering due to the demons. Like Prahlad, right? As soon as the demon was just too much, you know, giving trouble to Prahlad, then he came in the form of Nrsingadev and killed Hiranyakashipu, the demon, you know. And it's said that it's not really necessary that he comes even to kill the demon, because Maya herself, you know, the three modes of material nature and controlled by Durga, by Lord Shiva's wife Parvati Durga, she can kill unlimited demons. But when the devotee is rescued by the Lord himself, then the devotee's heart just explodes in loving ecstasy. And that's a loving exchange, you know. So Krishna comes in his different incarnations to have that loving exchange with his devotees. Imagine you're about to fall off a cliff and someone comes and rescues you. How would you feel towards them? Or you're going to be run over by a car and someone pulls you out the way, or something, you know, someone's going to shoot you in the head and someone saves you or whatever like that. You know, you'd be so grateful and indebted and love so much someone that saves you from a calamity or death or whatever. You know, so when Krishna comes and does that in wonderful ways, the love of the devotees just magnifies, you know, multiple unlimited times, you know. So that's the relationship between the Lord and devotees. So much love. But yeah, the demons, the demons means the persons that are under the modes, you know, so they're under the modes, they're either in the mode of ignorance or the mode of passion, like that. Normally, yeah, it's ignorance and passion. If someone's in the mode of goodness, you wouldn't really call them a demon, but still that is not perfect. We explained that.
And he's always waiting for
What's
us
that?
You know, Krishna's so kind that he's always waiting for us to turn to him as well. You know, and no matter what we've done, you know, he's just waiting for us to turn to him. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, even though we've probably all at some point or other in one life or another acted as demons, you know, but Krishna still loves us. So, you know, Krishna loves the demons too. And actually, when he comes and kills the demons, he actually liberates them from all their lust and greed and anger and envy and so forth. Because remember, originally everyone's a pure soul, right? Even there's not really anyone that's a real demon or whatever. They're all eternal, pure souls that love God. But we temporarily have been covered by Maya in the form of ignorance and passion, and we're acting like a demon. But when Krishna kills the demons, they get purified of that. So that's his love for them too. And even though, you know, we may have acted in, like certainly earlier on in this life too, I was acting in a very demoniac way. I was very materialistic. I was atheistic, and, you know, I didn't believe in God. And I was breaking pretty much all of God's rules. You know, I was involved with killing animals and eating them, and intoxication and so forth like that. So breaking all of God's rules, I was, you know, definitely I would fit into that category of being a demon. But, you know, that can be changed, you know, once again, free choice, you know. So we've made the choice to be a demon, but we can make the choice to be a devotee, you know. And also, once we're a devotee, you could make the choice to be a demon again. So be careful. It goes both ways, you know. So that's there. But Krishna loves us unconditionally. But definitely, if we take up being the position of being a devotee, he will definitely reciprocate with us and help us more and more to go further, ultimately go back to Godhead like that. So like I said, Krishna gives you what you want. If you want to be a demon, he'll help you. you know, and he'll help you to set up the slaughterhouse and everything like that. And if you want to be a devotee, he'll help you. So it's not that he's partial. It's not that he's partial, but whatever you want, he'll help you with that. So if you want to love him, he'll help you. And if you want to forget him, he'll help you. You know, so he's equal to everyone like that. And if you love him 100%, how's he going to reciprocate?
He will love you back 110%.
He'll love you back, well, at least 100. At least 100, yeah. So exactly, if you love him 50%, he'll love you 50. If you love him 100, he'll love you 100. You know, and if God loves you 100%, oh my God, you're going to have buckets of nectar and bliss and happiness on your head. You won't be able to deal with it.
This class will be in the Krishna Laka.
You'll be like Prabhupada with tears coming out of his eyes sideways.
That's right.
You know, so that's how that happens, because Prabhupada loves Krishna 100%. So, and Krishna loves Prabhupada 100%. So, and Prabhupada feels 100% happiness, you know, and tears are coming out sideways, and he's going into trance and like that. And, you know, he can't even speak. He's feeling so much love and things like that. So these different ecstasies are there. So this is God is reciprocate perfectly with everyone according to their desire, isn't it? And I sort of, you know, try to understand that looking at my own life, because remember, we're part of God, right? So how we tick is sort of how God ticks, but he's obviously on a much bigger scale, but still it's similar, very similar. And I was just thinking in terms of my own kids, because I have 2 kids. One reciprocates with me more, you know, and communicating with me more and wanting to do more stuff with me. And one kid reciprocates with me less and like doesn't communicate and doesn't want to spend much time with me.
It definitely is your daughter communicate with you more and the son communicate with the mother. Is that?
Well, they were both with the mother, but still one would communicate with me more and everything.
Ooh.
And which one of them do you think I put more energy into?
The one who communicates with you more.
Yeah. And you could say, oh boy, that's not very fair. No, it is. It is, because she's you know, giving me 50% and the other one's giving me 10%. So I give her 50% and I give my other one 10%. You know, so it's exactly fair. You know, so and God is operating like that too, and that's completely fair. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You're on mute, Deepa. I can't hear you.
Yeah. No, I just wondered, like, because with the one who's not responding to you as well as another, don't you put more effort into that? I mean, I'm just like more effort to try to win them over, so to speak, you know, in that sense. I just wondered,
There's no question I love both of them.
Yeah.
But in terms of the amount of energy I put into the relationship and time and everything, no, it's you know, it's dependent on the reciprocation.
Yeah.
You know, so because once again, love, you know, you want a loving relationship, you can't force it. I can't make that one son that, you know, is in his own world and completely oblivious to me. You know, I can't make him, you know, realize I exist or anything. You know, he has to, you know, try
realize himself.
You know, I can't force that. But as soon as he makes a step, you know, I'm going to make heaps, you know. Like if he just said the words, Dad, I want to come and see you.
You're going to fetch him.
I'll go myself. I'll drive. Where he is like 15 hours drive away. I'll jump in the car this afternoon and go and get him. Or I'll buy him a ticket and spend $1,000 to bring him here and take him back. And that's what I just did. My daughter came here. And you know, and we spent more than $600 to fly her there and back. And you know, and then we took time to drop her at the airport and all this kind of stuff and all this stuff, you know. So, and we taught her, you know, how to cook and everything like that to set her up for university and everything like that. So put a lot of effort in, you know. But you know, I write my son an email and he doesn't send anything back, so you know, I just give up, you know. So, but if he does say something, Daddy, I really want to come and see you, then I'm going to cross mountains. I'm going to cross mountains to reciprocate, you know. So that's the way of Krishna.
Close to father, and the boys are more close to mother. It's just
not always, but yeah, generally, yeah. But once again, I mean, we're eternal souls, right? So it doesn't just depend on you're in a man's body or a woman's body or whatever like that. But you know, we have some free choice, you know. So
give him time.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not complaining about anything, but I'm just saying that's helping me to understand about Krishna.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're part of Krishna. So I'm saying, how are you going to understand God? You understand how you operate. And then you'll also understand how God operates. Because he's a person like I am. You know, I'm not a robot. And God isn't a robot either. It's not like automatic. And he's always going to do the same things for you, whether you treat him well or not. No, it doesn't work like that. Sorry, mate.
But the thing is, he does. He provides for everyone, regardless.
Yeah. As a father, that's your obligation, right? You know, you have to provide the bare necessities. But what I'm talking about is more than the bare necessities. If you become a devotee and you love him, you get a hell of a lot more than what everyone gets, which is the bare necessities. You know, the ant and the cockroach and the elephant, they're not thinking about him, but they all get the bare necessities. The ant's bare necessity is 1 grain of sugar, and the elephant's bare necessity is 1 cubic meter of trees and leaves and branches. And they all get that, you know. And the atheist that says God is dead or I hate God or whatever, he also gets food and a roof over his head and clothes and has someone to have sex with and everything, you know. So everyone gets that. But a devotee gets a lot more. Gets a lot more. You know, gets a lot more. It's a lot more. You know, and that's love, you know, and that's love. And like they say, money can't buy love. But that's what the soul needs, you know. I mean, the body needs money. But does the soul need money? No. No. The soul needs love.
Question. What happened when we sleep and we dream about something? Who's experiencing in the dream? If I was in Vrindavan, but I was here sleeping in a bed, who was experiencing, the soul experiencing that moment in the Vrindavan, or me? Like, I was here sleeping, you know, subconsciously.
Your body was here.
Yeah, but who was experiencing that? Soul?
And the soul is the witness. Yeah, we're the witness.
So when we wake up,
so in the day and in the night, we're just the witness. So anytime, day or night, we're just witnessing. That's all the soul is doing.
When
we're
we
witnessing.
sleep, their soul wasn't in the body. Soul was in Vrindavan. Then we wake up, soul come back to the body, and we wake. Is it right? Who
well, yeah, it's either the soul in the dream is carried by the subtle body, so it can be carried into the sky or carried into Vrindavan or carried wherever to, you know, you like Samoa as a tourist destination, so you're dreaming about Samoa, so you've gone to, your subtle body is taking you to Samoa, you know, and then you come back in, you know, and the subtle body, the super soul keeps the body ticking while you're out.
Okay. Okay, super soul.
Actually, when you go to sleep, it's like a near-death experience.
Yes, because you don't know anything.
It's actually like a dead body, but the super soul is keeping it alive while you're out, like that. But it's like a small death. Every time you go to bed, you should think like that. This is like a small death, and then you have one final death.
Every time I go to bed, I sleep. I think about it. I might not wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, we might not. And some people, it's becoming more common these days that people go to bed and don't wake up. So, yeah, it's called the
Bhaktimala, you had something you were saying.
Oh, no, I was just saying that it's your consciousness that goes somewhere else, not
the soul.
Well, the consciousness is coming from the soul. It's like consciousness, you can compare it to sunshine, and the soul, you could compare it to the sun. So just like sunshine radiates out from the sun, so consciousness radiates out from the soul. So that's the symptom that the soul is there. It's like, how do you, like now it's completely cloudy here and where I am, so I can't see the sun, but I know it's there. How do I know it's there? Because of the sunshine. Because I can't perceive the sun, but I can perceive the sunshine. The heat. Yeah, so I can feel the heat and the light. So, but because I can see the light, I know the sun must be there. So I can't see the soul, but I can perceive consciousness. Like if I drop a hammer on my finger, then definitely there's going to be some consciousness there, and so I know the soul. What's that? I
want to see that.
You want to see that? No. That's called a sadist. Don't you call it a sadist? You're enjoying seeing other people suffering like that. So
life anyway.
Yeah. So that is the symptom, that there is a soul there, that there's a perception of pleasure and pain like that, and that is because of consciousness. Consciousness is spread throughout the body, just like the sunlight is spread throughout the universe. The sun is in one place, but the sunlight's everywhere. So in the same way, the soul is in one place in the heart, but it's spread everywhere in the form of consciousness through the body. So, you know, if I pull this hair out of my head, I'm going to, you know, and if I drop a brick on my toe, I'm going to go, you know, so it's everywhere. So that consciousness is all through the body, but that's due to the presence of the soul. Consciousness is there. And the same way, what's that?
You don't really think he went to Vrindavan though, do you, Gulshan?
Of course not.
What is it?
You don't really think you went to Vrindavan though, do you?
My soul went to Vrindavan. There was like, I was dead. When I was sleeping, the body was dead. I have no idea where I am. Like when you're sleeping, you don't know you are in the Jasmine or you are in, some in India. Once you sleep, it means you got no recollection whatsoever where you are. It's like a mini death. So I was thinking that I'm in Vrindavan. Like it was complete 8-hour dream. And and then when I wake up, go to toilet, and then I'm in Newcastle. Then I went to bed again, Vrindavan. Then it's just back and forth, back and forth. I just drank whole bottle of water, so went to toilet quite a lot. So
I don't think you actually go to that place though.
In the scriptures, it explains. Prabhupada in his purports, he says the soul actually goes to whatever place he's thinking about when he's dreaming. The soul actually goes there. Yeah.
Oh. I just thought
and that's called the speed of the mind, you know. So Prabhupada talks about the speed of the mind speed.
Oh, yes.
You know, so the speed of the mind, you know, because the soul is carried there by the subtle body. So subtle body means mind, intelligence, and false ego. So the mind in the dream carries the soul to that place that is being thought about, like that. So that's mind speed. Immediately, even in the daytime, you know, we call daydreaming too, right? Daydreaming. So you're thinking about some particular place. Actually, your soul is actually carried to that place, according to the scriptures, like that. Yeah, it's mind speed.
Soul can be more than one place at a time.
Say what?
Soul can be more than one place at a time. I'm thinking about a temple, New Gokula, but sometimes I do think about, because I like the anklet for Krishna. Sometimes I just really want to see that anklet. And always when I go to a temple, just look at the anklet. That's all I look. Nothing else.
I mean, that's an interesting question. Can the soul be more than one place at the same time? It reminds me of one devotee asked Prabhupada a question. Can a guru be omnipresent? So guru means a living entity like us, right? You know, it's not God. And omnipresent means be more than one place at the same time, you know, be everywhere, basically, or more than one place at least. And Prabhupada said yes, but he qualified it. Yes, if Krishna wants him to be omnipresent, you know. If Krishna wants the devotee to be more than one place at the same time, Krishna can give that power. He can give that power.
Yes.
You know. Otherwise, how is it that you can offer food to the spiritual master and he accepts it and offers it to his spiritual master? Now, if the guru wasn't omnipresent, how you can do that? Because your spiritual master could be in, like now, many of them are in Mayapur. So if the spiritual master is in Mayapur, but you're in Australia or I'm in New Zealand, how you can offer it to your spiritual master unless he's in Australia or New Zealand? So Prabhupada gave that answer, that even the spirit, I mean, there's no question that God is omnipresent, present everywhere. But Prabhupada said that even the devotee, the spiritual master, can be omnipresent. Whatever God wants the devotee abilities to have, he can give that. He can give that. So it's really depending on Krishna what you can do and what you can't do. You know, it's like Arjuna, right? He's the most awesome warrior, you know, probably the world has ever seen. But how could he do all those things? Like even how he got his wife, Draupadi, you know how that happened?
No.
He had to shoot a fish, which was suspended from the ceiling above a wheel with spokes.
No, I mean the fish, that's the eye of the fish.
Well, he shot the fish in the eye, which is amazing. But what's also even more significant, not only did he have to do that, but he's not allowed to look at it. So he has to look at a pot of water on the ground, see the reflection of the fish and figure out where it is just by the reflection in the pot and then shoot it. And then he shot it in the eye, you know, and then he won his wife, Draupadi. You know, so how did he do that? It's Krishna's mercy, you know, so Krishna is given that power.
It's the power. The mind is, I don't know, this is just stuff that I've read and come across, that the mind is just more powerful than we ever realized, than we realize that that is the connection really. Somehow our thoughts create things and
well, I mean, that New Age philosophy is telling us that, you know, that you know, the mind can do anything, impossible things. We agree and we disagree. Where we disagree is that they've missed one very important step in the equation. They've missed Krishna. You know, so what it is that, you know, you have a desire in your mind, okay? You know, and you think, you know, I am rich, 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 I am the richest, I am the richest, I am the richest. So, you know, you think, you know, the mind is creating that wealth or whatever. But what it actually is, you have expressed your desire to the super soul that you want to be rich. And depending on your karma, Krishna will either give you that money you desire or he won't, you know, or he might give you part of what you desire. But it's not actually that your mind is unlimitedly powerful, but it's that actually Krishna, the super soul, is unlimitedly powerful. And you have placed your desire, you know, in front of the super soul, and you know, he's either going to give it or he's not. But just saying that the mind you can do whatever you want with your mind, it's not completely correct. And that's what New Age people will present, that you know, you have to have, you know, do positive affirmations and,
but it's not
positively.
It's not just in words. The way I describe it, or the way that I have understood it, is that it's prayer, but not in words. By visualizing the outcome and by feeling the feelings that are associated with that outcome. It can actually then that actually then transmits and gets conveyed in whatever proportion.
Definitely, if you don't place any desire in front of the super soul, you're not going to get anything. So I mean, definitely, you know, you want to desire, you know, you want to think something, you know, that you desire. But then then what I'm saying is the ultimate factor in that and that desire getting fulfilled is not just you're wanting it, but it's that Krishna is sanctioning it. Now, if you look, we can look in the 18th chapter. It talks about there's five factors for any action taking place.
Any action equal as the opposite reaction. Newton's third law.
Yeah.
18 text. What is it? Which?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
figure
out. Let's look at in the index in the back. This is I'm showing you now how you can find things if you don't exactly know where it is. So look for action. Look up action 5 factors. Let's see if anything under that.
Action.
For Krishna. Action.
Yeah, causes of 5. So 8. What is it? 8:13.
8:13. 8:13, not 18.
I thought it was 18. Maybe I was wrong. Let's have a look. 8:13. No, that's not it. That's not it. Okay. Causes of 5, 8:13 to 16. I'm sure it was chapter 18. Let's have a look.
The action.
5 factors. Causes of 5. Constitutes.
It 14. In place of action.
Oh, here we go. It was the 18th chapter. Text number 14.
14, yeah. The place of action, the body, performer, the various senses, the many different kind of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul of the 5 factor.
Yeah. So we are only one of the 5 factors, which is the performer. So we're the performer, or in Sanskrit it's karta. So we're the karta or the performer. So that's we have our desire, right? I want to become rich and famous, like that. So that's one factor, but there's other factors. It depends on what the first one, the place of action, your body. Also, the body is one factor, and action taking place. And obviously, if you don't have a body, you can't do anything, even if, like that. Like a ghost, right? Like a ghost has desires, but they don't have a body, so you can't fulfill your desire because you don't have a body. So, and if you're a paraplegic or whatever, you can desire as much as you want, but you can't have it, because your arms and legs don't work and everything, So your body is one factor, and you as the soul with desires, you're the performer. That's also there, and the various senses. That's also a factor. That your senses are functioning and everything like that. The many different kinds of endeavor. So the different endeavors, that's also a factor. And the result, you have to do some endeavor. But ultimately, the super soul. And that's what a lot of these New Age philosophies, they might talk about the first 4 at the most, but they don't include the last one.
I think it should be.
Some of them do. I mean, some of them talk about, you put out your desire to the universe. But we know when they're talking about the universe, you're actually talking about Krishna. But they talk about the universe and everything like that. But they don't really know any details. So we know the details that the source of everything in the universe is Krishna, and he's the maintainer of the universe and destroys the universe and everything like that. So yeah, more detail.
I think it's only 2, because when the Krishna's mother tried to tie Krishna, just the 2 things, endeavor and his mercy. There's only 2 things. If you do endeavor and then Krishna's mercy, and then you will fulfill the desire.
Yeah, but that's
if you
the basic two. But
body,
even your endeavor, right? To make your endeavor, you need the body, which is mentioned here, and you need senses, which is
and Krishna mercy will provide body, everything will provide. But
yeah. So yeah, the basic two, you put the endeavor in, and then Krishna. But this one is giving you more detail. Yeah. So on your side, there's 4 things. You know, the body, and you, the soul, with desires, and the senses, and some effort. You have to put the endeavor and the effort. So 4 things. And then on Krishna's side is he's the one that's going to say, tick the box, yes, or cross, no.
And so Krishna's mercy, you know, if his mercy, he'll provide you the body, he'll provide you everything.
True. Yep.
Only Krishna's mercy. Even if you're like a ghost and you ever desire something, he will provide you the body. And it's just Krishna's mercy, that's all.
Yeah, but like we learned from that pastime you mentioned with Mother Yashoda and the 2 inches too short with the rope trying to tie up Krishna, the mercy came after she put in the effort.
Yes.
It didn't come before.
No.
You know,
because she was trying so hard.
Yeah, she's trying so hard to do the service, and then Krishna took pity on her, compassion on her. Oh, she's trying so hard. Okay, I'll let her do it. You know. So, but if you don't try, you know, to do the right thing, then you're not going to get it. You know. I think even in the Bible it says, faith without works is dead. So we accept, I mean, we agree with that, because that biblical saying matches up with what the Vedas say. Faith without works is dead. You know, so, you know, I believe in Jesus, but then I don't do anything. Well, that's useless, mate. You know, sorry, you're not going to get anywhere. You know, you can't just say, I believe in Jesus, but all your actions are all wrong. You know, you don't do anything what Jesus wants, then it's not going to work like that. Sorry. You know. And also all of your actions without any faith in God is also completely useless, you know. Like Hiranyakashipu, you know. By his actions, he became the controller of the whole universe. And that's not any exaggeration. Even the demigods were under Hiranyakashipu's control, biggest demon the universe has ever seen. And by his endeavors and everything. But how far did that get him in the ultimate end? Death. You know, he died, you know. So he wasn't successful. So, you know, without faith in God, because he was an atheist, so without faith in God, ultimately he failed. And Prahlad was nowhere near as strong or anything, powerful as Hiranyakashipu, but he had faith in God. So, you know, Prahlad was successful. And his demoniac father was a failure. He died like that. So, yeah, these are important things to know. Yeah. So we have to try our best. We have to try our best to do service, but it's not quite enough by itself. So then we have to depend on Krishna's mercy. And as we're talking about in this verse today, 7:13, that the modes of material nature are so much more powerful than us. So no matter how hard you try to overcome Maya, you can't do it. It's so much stronger. What is recommended is what we're going to read in the next verse, is that we should surrender. That we should surrender to Krishna. Because like he's saying in this verse, Krishna's above the modes. Okay, so he controls the modes. So if you want to get free from the modes, you should surrender to Krishna. So, and he's the controller, so he can turn the modes off. You know, he can set you free from the modes. Prabhupada compares Krishna to the you could say governor or prison superintendent. You know, he's got the keys for all the prison doors. You're the prisoner. He can, if he's pleased with you, he can just unlock the door and say, you know, see you later, you can go now. You know, he can let you free. But you can't get help. You yourself as a prisoner can't get out of the prison. And other prisoners cannot help you get out of the prison. You need someone that's outside the prison. You get it? You need someone that's outside the prison to release you from the prison, right? So in the same way, we need someone that's beyond Maya, beyond the modes. And who's that? That's either Krishna or the pure devotee, is beyond the modes. And they can release us. Okay, so let's read some of the purport. Let's finish off this purport, I should say. It's not too much. So where do you reckon we got up to 2 weeks ago?
We've got the last paragraph we haven't done.
Okay, just the last one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, I'll just recap a bit on that, the paragraph I read last time.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to be in Maya? Prabhupada's pointing out in that paragraph, where we identify with the body, and he's mentioned here, I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Kshatriya, I'm a Vaishya, I'm a Sudra, I'm a Brahmachari, I'm a Grihastha, I'm a Vanaprastha, I'm a Sannyasi, or I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm black, I'm white, I'm young, I'm old, I'm fat, I'm skinny, you get the idea, right? So I'm a Kiwi, I'm an Aussie, I'm an Indian, I'm whatever, like that. I'm a Hindu, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, like this. So all these bodily identifications, if we think like that about ourselves or others, that means we are deluded. What does deluded mean? Deluded means completely an illusion. Completely an illusion. There's illusion and delusion. Illusion means ignorance, right? Illusion means ignorance. And delusion or deluded means complete ignorance. Completely ignorant. So if we identify ourselves as the body, it means we're in complete ignorance. And one beautiful story, it's an ISKCON story from devotees, showing us that we can still be a bit deluded. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, who was, before being a sannyasi, he was known as Ganesham. He passed away some years ago with cancer, skin cancer. And he was a very great soul, no doubt at all. Incredible book distributor. And one of the things that Prabhupada loved the most was, oh no, that's another story. But one time what happened, he was a big book distributor, but he had a black body. And as you know, in the material world, there's often some discrimination between black and white people, and often, what's that? A lot, yeah. So often white people have this idea, I don't know where they got it from, that they're like superior to black people. But anyway, it's the way some of them think. Not all of them think like that, but some think like that. And some black people also have a bit of inferiority complex. I don't know why they have to think like that, but anyway.
They're made to feel that way.
One day. What's that?
Oh, they're made to feel that way. That's
made to feel like that. But still, it's up to us. It's our free choice whether we accept what's put on us or not. But so one day he went to Prabhupada with a complaint when he was just a brahmachari. He said, Swamiji, I came to this movement expecting this is a spiritual movement and there won't be any discrimination of like colors and everything like that. But he said, it's not like that, that there is, within ISKCON, that I get so many devotees, not nice to me because I'm in a black body. And he was expecting, what do you think he was expecting?
Some sympathy, empathy.
Some sympathy, right? You'd expect some sympathy. And it seems like quite a virtuous presentation, that there's some racism and all that kind of stuff. But do you think Prabhupada gave him sympathy?
No.
See, that's the thing. When you go before the pure devotee, you don't know what the hell is going to happen because he's not from this world. He doesn't think like we think. He's transcendental, or she. So what Prabhupada said to him was like profound. Completely, you could say, the word paradigm shift in his mind, completely looking at it a different way of looking at the world.
Wow.
He said, he said they are identifying with the body. And if you are also identifying with the body, what makes you any different than them? Means if they are seeing that you are black and you are seeing yourself as black, then there's no difference. They are in Maya and you're also in Maya. So Prabhupada's point was you have to go above Maya. There will always be people that say you are black, you are white, you are too fat, you are too skinny, you are ugly, you are whatever. There will always be people like that. This is the material
when
world,
the people will say to me, "You're good looking," what do I have to think like, It's like, oh, shut up, don't laugh.
That's worse. That's worse.
That's worse.
I mean, we can talk about that. That's worse. I'd rather have people say you're ugly than good looking. Because you get puffed up. You can get proud. And pride is more dangerous. Actually, when you get criticized like that, it actually is very humbling, isn't it? Yeah. It's like crushing down our false ego, and it's very humbling. So that's actually probably, you could say, more beneficial for our spiritual life than someone saying, "Oh boy, you're the best devotee and you're so good and you're so this and that and you're the greatest and everything." That makes our false ego go up and up and up and up.
And then, they are blowing the trumpet, and then you keep still going up.
That's the worst thing. Pride is like number one enemy, and that the false ego. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, that Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, said, "He who criticizes me is my friend, and he who praises me is my enemy." Who thinks like that? That's another, see what I'm saying? The guru is thinking, far beyond the way we think, Nobody thinks like that. Nobody thinks like that. Everyone wants praise. No one wants criticism. But from that spiritual perspective, if you're aspiring for going to spiritual life, actually it's better to be criticized because it's constantly crushing. It's crushing your ego. What's that?
No, when you're experiencing it, it's hard. It's emotionally very difficult to handle. It's
difficult to handle as long as we identify with the body. But this is the crucial point. We have to come to the realization, not just theory, but we have to come to the realization that we're not the body. That's the crux of the matter, as they say. That's why Prabhupada said it 100 million times. You're not the body, you're a spirit soul. Do any of you realize that if you really thought that you're a spirit soul, is there anything or anyone that can hurt you? Can't.
It's a mind.
I mean, it can easily hurt the body. I mean, I could write a whole book about ways that you could hurt the body. But, you write a list of ways that you can hurt the soul.
You cannot touch the soul.
You can't touch it. You can't even see it.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you attack something you can't even see? And it says in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, let's have a look at it. I think it's 2:20. 2:20 says you can't cut it. You can't cut it. So forget about using a sword or something.
You can't burn it. You can't
burn it. He says you can't burn it. You can't. It says it's insoluble. Insoluble means you can't drown it.
You can't dissolve it. Yeah.
You can't dissolve it. You can't. It doesn't. You can throw it. You could put the soul in the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. It's not going to do a damn thing.
It's eternal.
You can't dry it out. It says you can't dry it. You can't burn it. You can't see it. You can't cut it. It says it's indestructible. So is that what it says? 2:20.
You can't bomb it.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's not burnt, so no fire weapon is going to affect it. Nothing. You can put a nuclear bomb on top of a soul. It's not going to do a damn thing. Of course, the body won't exist anymore, but this doesn't affect the soul at all. Oh yeah, no, the one I was thinking of was 224. But that was also a good one. It's also saying when the body is killed, the soul is not killed. It has no birth or death. It's immortal, eternal, everything. But 224 talks about not being cut and burnt and so forth. It's unbreakable, unsoluble. Can neither be burned nor dried. He's everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. So what does it mean? Present everywhere. It sounds like God. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean we're only present, but present everywhere means there's souls everywhere. There's souls inside the earth. Forget about now we're on top of the earth, but there's souls inside the earth. There's souls in the water. There's souls in the air. There's souls in fire. Doesn't matter where you go in the universe, there's souls everywhere. And of course, the stupid scientists who are not real scientists, because no real scientist would be so stupid, as to say that there's only life on Earth. It's like, duh. No, there's life everywhere, sorry. You know, according to the Vedas, there's life on the moon, there's life on the sun. You know, well, they went to the, supposedly went to the moon, brought back some dust, and that's all that's on the moon is dust. I mean, they're complete morons. You know, that's a heavenly planet.
Or they just went somewhere and get the dirt.
Prabhupada said they went to they collected the dust from the Arizona desert. The Arizona desert. They said it was all fake. There's one actually place in Arizona which is all fenced off. No one can go there. It's like a military, you know, no-go zone. And they said it was all staged there. I mean, it's not just he's saying that, but after Prabhupada said that the Americans didn't go to the moon, there was books and books and books. I mean, you can look it up. You know, there's books and books and books all about that they didn't go to the moon. You know, so... But anyway, my point is, according to this and according to Prabhupada, that like the souls everywhere. So there's souls in the sun, there's souls in the moon, there's souls in fire and air and the water, like that, you know, everywhere like that. So if we actually realize this, we're not affected. Someone said, oh, boy, you're the ugliest person I've ever seen. You are just disgustingly gross.
That's true anyway.
You know, so that's right. So, you know, we're not affected by that if we don't misidentify with the body. Of course, if I do think I'm the body, I'm going to punch him in the head. But, you know, if I don't identify the body, then you're not affected by that. So this is the point we want to come to. This is the point we want to come to. And this is called self-realization. You know, that is what self-realization is. To realize ourself is the soul. We're not the body.
But from a very practical point, like from my experience, I mean, all of you know, like, you know, since coming, and it's been such a struggle with work and not being accepted at the level that I have attained prior, and you know, but okay, I mean, but it was a mind shift in the sense that I say, like, and my husband has been telling, like, you know, it's a mind shift, like, for whatever reason, I'm meant to go through this and to grow or develop in some way, maybe personally, and therefore so with whatever I get, I'm grateful for that. But it's such a struggle. I mean, even till today, it does affect me. It does. I mean.
So yeah, like Prabhupada was encouraging his black body disciple, that we have to go further in our spiritual consciousness and our Krishna consciousness. That, you know, we have to stop identifying with the body. Because you see, you're never going to change it that in the material world that there's not going to be people in the mode of ignorance and not going to be people in the mode of passion that are going to see you, you know, as your body. So that's always going to be there. Only if you're in the mode of goodness are you going to understand that everyone is a spiritual being. That's the vision of someone in the mode of goodness. That everyone is a spiritual being. You know, but we're in the material world. So, I mean, most people are in ignorance and passion. So they are going to be on the bodily platform. So you're just going to end up being frustrated if you expect that everyone's going to see you as a soul. They're not going to do that. But you have to see others as the soul. You have to see yourself as the soul. And if others do whatever, you know, say anything, whatever, then you don't worry about it so much. You don't worry. You're not so much affected by it.
I expect that everybody criticize me. So I just expect everyone criticize me. If one or two people praise me, I feel better. Because I just mindset everybody criticize me.
One time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati again, one guy, I told you the story before, you may remember, there was one man that was attending his lectures, and he would always make some smart or insulting remark, some stupid question at the end of a class, and he's like a pain in the backside, and this was going on for years and years. Eventually the guy died, and the disciples heard that this nutcase died, so they thought the Guru would be happy to hear that. So they said, so-and-so, who was a pain in your neck, he's dead, you know. And what did the Guru do? He's crying. And they're in shock, you know. Once again, you're not expecting that kind of a reaction. But what the Guru does, you never can expect what's going to happen. So they never expect, they thought to be happy. You know, if your enemy is dead, what are you going to do? You're going to be happy, aren't you? Your enemy is gone. You're going to be happy. Of relief. Is anyone going to be sad that their enemy's gone? His enemy's gone. He's sad.
And they said, whom are you going to fight with? That there's no fun in the life.
They asked him, you know, Guru Maharaj, why are you unhappy? Why are you sad? He said, because and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, he was my Guru. He taught me tolerance. Can you believe it? That's cool. I mean, that's amazing.
Wow.
He's like the guru of a massive organization called the Gaudiya Math, just like Prabhupada is the guru of ISKCON. So before ISKCON, there was the Gaudiya Math. So his guru was like the thousands of disciples and everything like that. He's like the top of the human society as sannyasi, as the highest, you know, echelon of the human society. And this idiot that's just criticizing him all the time, I mean, he's saying he's my guru. He taught me tolerance. That's just incredible. That's amazing. But what a brilliant way to think, you know, to deal with that, you know, which could be a very difficult relationship, but turned it into such a beautiful thing that he's teaching me, you know, how to be humble and tolerant and everything like that. Like then more patient and everything like that. So he tolerated the guy for so many years. You know, he never did anything. He never tried to hurt the person or told him, oh, make sure that guy doesn't come into my lectures, because you could easily do that, right? I mean, he's the boss of the whole organization. He could say, don't let that nutcase ever come in to attend my lectures. But he didn't do anything for years. And the guy keeps coming and being a nutcase. And eventually he dies and he says, oh, he was my guru. He taught me tolerance. I mean, that's just brilliant. I mean, imagine if we thought like that, you would have no problems. The reason why we have problems is because we don't think like that. If someone does anything against me, I want to, you know, kill him, you know, like that. So, you know, and that's why we have so many problems. We don't have that tolerance, you know, we don't have that forgiveness. We don't have that humility. But that's what the Guru is here to teach us. You know, that's what the meaning of acharya is, right? Acharya, you call the Guru, in Sanskrit, you call them acharya. Acharya means one who teaches by example. So he's teaching us by example how to behave, you know, the perfect person, perfectly humble and tolerant like that, compassionate, forgiving, everything. Because these are the qualifications for going back to the spiritual world. Because in the spiritual world, every soul is humble and tolerant and compassionate and patient and everything. There's not one soul in the spiritual world that's proud. If you're proud, this is the place for proud ones. Proud ones are all here. You know, the humble ones are all there. You know, the vicious ones are here, and the very compassionate ones are there. You know, so we need to develop reawaken these spiritual qualities. These spiritual qualities are within us, but they're just covered up by us, unfortunately, associating with bad qualities. you know, because we've associated with the mode of ignorance and passion for many lifetimes, you know, lust, greed and envy and anger and so forth. We've become covered by that. But actually deep down, we're all a pure spirit soul. And deep down, we're all full of love and compassion and humility and tolerance. So it's not actually hard to develop these things. They're already there. But just we have to stop. This is important. We have to stop practicing the wrong behavior. And we have to start practicing the right behavior.
Well, that was good. I needed to hear that because I need to change the way I think about what I just described.
To reset. We need to reset. Not like the world globalists are talking about a reset, but we don't agree with that reset. There we just, you know, it's nutcases. But this is another reset of our consciousness. We need to reset.
You're talking about Deepa. I drive Uber. I judge every single day. I've been judged every single day, but I'm still smiling. It does not matter.
You're a nutcase anyway.
Because I'm a nutcase. Because I accept it. I'm not a body. Who cares?
Mate, I've changed my attitude. You're a spiritual nutcase.
Whatever there, I'm Krishna's nutcase.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to work on is ourself. You know, we can't really change anyone else. The only person we can really change is ourself. And of course, if you do change yourself, then others may change.
Pardon me, mate. I've got an interruption here.
No,
that's all right. That's all right. We should actually read this last paragraph. So let's do that because we've only got a minute or two left. So, Bhakti Mala, do you want to read the last paragraph of today's verse, text 13? There are many.
There are many different kinds of living entities. Is that?
Yep, that's the one.
Human beings, demigods, animals, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of material nature. And all of them have forgotten.
And a post, that's all.
Yeah. Some of them pretty bad, are they?
Yeah, next door's already been replaced, I think, at some point. So,
mate, I'm just on to
conversation going on.
Those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance, and even those who are in the mode of goodness, cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conception of the absolute truth. They are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in his personal feature, which possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. When even those who are in goodness cannot understand, what hope is there for those in passion and ignorance? Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all of these three modes of material nature, and those who are fully established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated.
So this is very humbling that even goodness is not enough.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
You're right.
You're right to see
I'll see myself out. Yeah, no problem.
Prabhupada's saying that even in the mode of goodness you can't understand. You can't transcend the modes. You can't understand Krishna, ignorance and passion. So the only solution is Krishna consciousness. So yeah, we have to come to Krishna consciousness. That's the only solution. And you know, there's so many problems in the world, and people are trying to have always tried to solve them in the past, and they're trying to solve them in the present, and they'll continue to try to solve them in the present, but they always fail. The only real solution is Krishna consciousness. That's the only real solution.
You know why they fail? Because they think they are the doer. That's why they fail.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. But like I say, from inside the prison, you can't get out of the prison. You know, even if you got the best room in the prison, like in the mode of goodness, you could say, even if you got the best room in the prison, you're still inside the prison. You can't get out. You need to get help from beyond the prison. So even like, what's an example of the mode of goodness? Even demigods. But even demigods cannot understand Krishna. What to speak of us, you know, human beings. You know, even demigods cannot understand Krishna. Even demigods cannot get out of the material world unless even they have to surrender to Krishna, have to become Krishna conscious. So wherever we're at, we need to latch on to Krishna consciousness, you know, somehow take shelter of Krishna consciousness. And Krishna consciousness, how do you get Krishna consciousness? Is through the association of devotees and hearing and chanting about Krishna and the association of devotees. So it's by the mercy. And that was Prahlad Maharaj's realization. And because his father, who was a big demon, was very confused because his whole life, his son had been surrounded by demons, and he had never really had the association of devotees, he had thought. So his father asked him, how the hell did you become a devotee of Vishnu or Krishna? How did you become Krishna conscious? Because his teachers were demons, his father was a demon, his friends were demons. How did he become Krishna conscious? And what did his son say? Prahlad said to his dad, you never have to worry about becoming Krishna conscious because you're a demon. And he said that because Prahlad said, the only way you can become Krishna conscious is if you take the dust from the feet of a pure devotee on your head. And he said, you will never do that. So you don't have to worry about becoming Krishna conscious. You will never do that because a demon is so proud, they can never humble themselves before a devotee of the Lord. So that is really the essence of how we can become Krishna conscious from being in Maya. Is through the mercy of the devotees association. If we humbly come into their association and hear from them respectfully and everything like that. But the key is humility, and how do we develop the humility? That comes sort of more of its own accord in the form of suffering. So that's what I'd like to say in the form of what Deepa was saying, and that before she's had so many difficulties like that. But that's actually a blessing, because the suffering we go through, whether it's due to people criticizing the way I look, or due to whatever, due to some physical diseases that I'm suffering, or some family relationship problems or whatever like that, that we're suffering. But that suffering is actually a blessing in disguise, because it breaks down that pride and arrogance that we think we're so great and important and big, and that we're masters, that we're enjoyers like that. It breaks down that false ego, and it makes us realize we're helpless and insignificant, and we're not very happy here, and we need God, and God save me, God help me. You know, so that's what that humility. What the benefit of suffering, it helps us make us humble. The benefit of humility is that allows you to get the benefit of associating with devotees. Because unless you're humble, you're not going to want to associate with devotees, and you're not going to take benefit from the association unless you're humble. If you approach the guru and think, oh, I know more than this guy, what can this guy teach me? I know everything. You know, then you're not going to learn anything. So you have to realize I'm like nothing. You know, I'm an empty head. I'm such a fool. I'm such a fool. And you know, please teach me. Please instruct me. And that's probably one of the most famous verses in Bhagavad Gita. Is chapter 4, text 34, which you can check that out sometime. Which is all about the relationship with the spiritual master and how the disciple. Yeah, 434, very important verse. It's probably, you know, one of the most important parts of the whole process is how we approach. And that doesn't just mean the initiating spiritual master that gives us a name, but means anyone that can give us good advice, instruction, how to advance in Krishna consciousness. You know, so that humility is essential for being able to take any good instruction. Because if you're proud, you can't take instruction, you know. It's like, you know, I sometimes, like recently I had my daughter here, so I tried to teach her stuff, Sometimes some things I can teach her, but other things she won't allow me to teach her because she thinks she knows, you know, everything like that. So some areas of teaching was like hitting a brick wall with her, like trying to teach her about God and spirituality, and that I was like hitting a brick wall. You know, I could teach her about cooking because she wanted to learn cooking, but I can't teach her about
step by step.
Yeah, step by step.
When she finds that your cooking
I've got
was
a very good example for that. And you know, there is a horse and a donkey. You can teach horse, but you can't teach donkey. You must be saying, oh, both are animal. If you can teach horse, why can't you teach donkey? But why you can't teach donkey? Because donkey knows he knows. That's why you can't teach him. You have to hit him and then he runs. And a good horse will run from the shadow of the whip. It runs. But the donkey doesn't until he gets hit. Because donkey believes he knows. That's why you can't teach him.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but when she realizes your cooking recipes were also good, she'll come back for more, and then slowly.
Yeah, well, she said when she was leaving, she said, "Oh, you know, when I come back, then I'll do more and stuff." So I said, "Oh, that's." I was thinking, "Oh, that's good." She said she wants to come when she comes back, so she must be thinking.
There you go.
So that's good.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
but that's the key, really, is to develop that humility. Then you can take advantage of the Devotees Association, and you can hear more about Krishna consciousness and find out the process, how to practice it and how to follow it.
An apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so there you go. Slowly.
Oh, that's wrong. My daughter doesn't listen at all.
No, not yet her time. She will.
Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened. I mean, I still can't believe it. I'm still in shock because, you know, my relationship with my parents has been, you know, completely roadblocked for a long time. And I'd given up. I thought, well, I tried to fix it up with my parents. I give up, you know. And I was organizing the trip with my daughter to come here. And she just, and I booked her ticket to come here and everything like that. And then she said, oh, I really want to see my grandma and grandpa. You know, I haven't seen them for so long. I can't even hardly remember them. I might not get to see them again before they die or anything like that. And by that, and I was quite touched by that. And then I said, well, why didn't you tell me before I bought the ticket? Because then I had to change it, and you know, I had to go to Auckland, and you know, so we actually scrapped one of her flights, and I drove for 6 hours, and because my parents are near to Auckland, so but I told her, you know, why didn't you tell me before, and then I said, but also my parents are not going to want me to come, and she said, oh, just try, and I did, you know, not thinking that it wouldn't work, so I sent them an email that you know, your granddaughter wants to see you both, and I sent them the exact words that she had written, which were quite touching, and that melted their hearts, and they said, yeah, come. So I couldn't believe it. You know, my parents have like opened the door to me again. So I took, you know, we all three of us went, and Jayanti, myself, and her, we went and we had a great time, and they completely like transformed. Yeah, and they didn't hassle me at all, and they were very nice and everything. And then after we left, my dad sends me an email saying, what's your address? We would like to visit you. So I was just like, oh my God, this is incredible. You know, so Krishna can move mountains. You know, so the main thing is, you know, just keep your Krishna consciousness. Don't sacrifice that for any reason. You know, keep your Krishna conscious, and eventually, you know, Krishna can pull amazing strings, you know, to change people's hearts, whether they be atheistic kids or atheistic parents or whatever, you know, remove demonic influences from our lives and so many things. You know, just stick to Krishna consciousness, stay surrendered to Krishna. Krishna, from now on, I'm yours. You do with me whatever you like. This is surrender, right? When you're surrendered, you know, before I was very independent. I used to do what I want, but no more. Now I'm your servant. You do with me whatever you like. I surrender to you. I'm yours. You can kill me or make me live for 100,000 years, whatever you want to do. you know, whatever you want. So like that, and then just be like that, and then see where it takes you. And it's amazing. I was completely blown away. Completely blown away.
Such a good story.
Nice story.
Yeah, amazing.
They
And oh
can't
my God.
accept to see her without, because she's of you. So it's of course they accept you as well.
and also, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to. I'd like to say more, but my wife's telling me to shut up. Because,
tell her we
but some of the
to
stuff
her,
is a bit
shut up.
confidential.
Not
Sort of
conscious.
It's just, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. My parents, you know, yeah, no, Johnny's telling me not to say anymore because I promised not to say anything. But yeah, my just basically though, my parents.
That's her in-laws.
Completely melted.
I know that. In-laws.
I just say that, you know, that now they want to help her through her master's degree.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
And let me I can't say specifically, but very tangible ways. I'll leave it at that. And very tangible ways.
No, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Krishna can do amazing things, you know. We just,
and the door is open. Now they're asking about your place and things like that. The door is open.
Yeah. And I've always thought like that. I never worry about money or anything. And it's amazing. It just comes. Things work out. You have the food that you need, the roof over your head, money that you need. It's always there. And I don't necessarily know how it's going to come or whatever like that, but it just comes. It's amazing. It's amazing. So all glories to Krishna. Thank you.
Abel. See you next week.
Yes, take care, everyone.
Terrible.
Okay.
Thank you.